They have lost the protection of God. Now let's dive in behind the scenes to see what is happening in the spiritual realm. The people who came against you have lost the protection of God. In this moment, God has taken his hands off the people who did you wrong. And now they are experiencing so much destruction that some even believe you are behind what is happening to them because they did so much evil to you, and so you are retaliating, which is not the case. Most of these people do not believe that they are experiencing the wrath of God, but they are. You see, if you go back in the Bible, in the olden days, whenever the Israelite sinned against God, God took his hands off them and gave them to their enemies. But God was never in front of the Israelites in the first place for them to disobey him or sin against him. But as the Bible says, whoever claims to love God but hates his brother is a liar. God doesn't need to stand in front of you for you to go against him. But God is within every person around you. So these people do not believe they have gone against God. But if you know and understand what the real commandment is about, it comes down to you loving yourself, loving God and your neighbor. So when you offend your loved ones, a brother, a sister, a friend, you are offending God. And that's what a lot of people turn to forget. They don't want to believe that. And so some don't believe they've done anything against God. And you see, when you offend God by trying to destroy the life of another creation of God, or when you disobey God by trying to seek another spirit, to use that spirit against another person, you have gone against God. And God at a point in time will take his grace of you, and you're going to face the consequence. So every time the Israelite offended God, disobeyed God, he left them. He took his protection away from them, and they went into slavery, right? And so now, a lot of people who did these things to you and against you, God has left them. He has taken his protection away from them. And so they have been given, they've been surrendered to their enemies. And it's hard for them to believe that the spirit that they were working with are actually the same spirit that are coming for them, because we are together. But this is something that humans don't have knowledge on, lack the wisdom on. Other spirit compete for a position in the lives of men, so that if they are able to take man's mind off God, God will get angry and take his protection off man. So what most people are not aware of is that even though they go in to seek help from these spirits, God sometimes still shield them. And so it makes it difficult for these spirits to have the right in their lives. But when they get to the peak where grace is done, God surrender us to the other spirit, and that's when destruction comes upon us. So whenever the Israelites, God left them, they went into slavery. And in their slavery, they went under their enemies. They served. And if you remember, or you're a person who read the Bible, you know that they went in for years. So these people are going to experience these distractions for years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, dependent. Because they did not do these things in just a day. Some did it the very first day they saw you, the very first day you were born. And so God has taken his protection of them, and God has surrendered them to their enemy. They thought you were the only person who had enemies, but humans have real enemies. And the real enemies of humans are not God and a fellow human. The real enemies of humans are other spirit. The Holy Spirit, the only God that protects humans, is the creator of humans, and that is God. And when you take the creator, which is the God who created us, who feel for us, who see us as his own, other spirit just want right and control. And so these people are going through a lot behind the scenes. Some are battling with real illness. Some are losing their properties. Some are experiencing death within their bloodline. A whole bloodline is falling down because of what others did to these people. And that is what is happening. It's about time the world understands how things move. Whatever you do, you will reap it. And so if you do evil, don't expect that the world will serve you blessings. You will get punishment. And there is time and season for everything under the sun. God loved all his children, and so he gave them time to change. There were messages. God did all he could to warn these people to stop what they were doing, but no, they would not, because they believed they were under another spirit that was giving them whatever they wanted. But what they forget to understand is we have just one Most High God above every other God. And every knee bow to God. Every demon, every spirit. And so God is the only God with the final say. When God says it's time, all the spirit, all the entities that you're working with are going to cease. They cannot function in your life again because God says so. And he is the final judge. And now God has sentenced these people. Most of them are in spiritual jail. And when you find yourself in spiritual jail, you cannot function in the physical world. Your life becomes stagnant. Nothing is going to work. And that's where they are. So if they are thinking you're behind their distractions, God is saying, no, I gave you time to change. I gave you time to love your brothers. I gave you time to do the right thing. But you said no. And now the grace period is over. It's time for your punishment. And as a father, even though I love you, I need to show you the right way. And that's the word for today. They've lost the protection of God. And they are going to experience distractions till further notice.